I get it, you scroll through a sea of glossy chair photos, see a sleek leather seat, a fancy massage button, maybe even a recline angle that looks like it could turn your desk into a lounge, and you think, finally something that will actually make those endless Zoom marathons bearable. Then the day you get it home, you sit down and the cushion feels too firm, the massage vibrates like a cheap phone, and the armrests feel like they're fighting your elbows. That's the nightmare most of us try to dodge, and that's why I'm breaking down this electric massage office chair before you click add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the environment this chair is meant for. The seller pitches it for home offices, corporate cubicles, student study nooks, even gaming rooms. In practice, that means it needs to hold up under a variety of weight distributions, stay comfortable for anything from a 2-hour study session to an 8-hour workday, and not look out of place next to a bookshelf or a gaming rig. The biggest red flag I've seen with these Boss chairs is that they're often built for a single-use case. Either they're a plush gamer throne that looks terrible in a professional setting, or a stiff executive seat that feels like a dentist's chair for a gamer. This model tries to bridge that gap with a leather-like finish that leans more toward a polished office aesthetic while still promising the kind of adjustability gamers love. The first thing you'll notice when you plug it in is the electric lumbar support. It slides a 6.5 centimeter range forward and backward, which is actually a decent amount of movement if you're the type who shifts around a lot. In my own test, I was able to fine-tune the support without having to get up and manually crank a knob, a small convenience that matters when you're already juggling spreadsheets. The lumbar motor is quiet enough that it doesn't echo across the room, but it's not silent. You'll hear a faint whir when you make an adjustment, which is fine as long as you're not trying to record a video conference with a mic right next to the chair. Now, the massage part. The chair includes a built-in vibration system that can be turned on with a simple button on the side panel. It's not a full-body massage, just a localized low-frequency pulse aimed at the lower back. If you've ever tried a cheap underdesk massager, you'll recognize that this feels a bit more refined. The vibration is steady and doesn't wobble the whole seat. However, it's also not something that will replace a professional massage therapist. Think of it as a subtle reminder to shift posture rather than a deep tissue experience. For anyone who spends long stretches at a desk and appreciates a little extra nudge to stay relaxed, it's a nice perk. For those looking for a spa-level treatment, it will feel underwhelming. Cooling is another claim the product makes, and it's worth digging into because heat is a real pain point during summer months. The seat incorporates an air-conditioned design, basically a mesh of tiny vents that allow air to circulate through the cushion. In a room that's around 75 degrees, the chair stays comfortably neutral. You won't feel the seat heating up after a few hours. The downside is that the ventilation system relies on passive airflow. There's no fan or active cooling. In a very hot environment, say 85 degrees and a sluggish AC, you'll still notice some warmth after a long session, but it's noticeably less than a solid leather chair with no vents. If you work in a climate-controlled office, the cooling feature is a modest but appreciated bonus. Reclining is where this chair tries to stand out. You can push back the lever and the backrest tilts all the way to 160 degrees. That's practically a near horizontal lounge position, which can be handy for quick power naps or for stretching out during a break. The Recline is supported by an iron frame that feels sturdy when you test the limits, and the motion is smooth thanks to a hydraulic mechanism rather than a noisy spring. One practical consideration, though, is the footprint. When fully reclined, the chair extends a good foot or two beyond the base. If your desk is cramped or you have a tight corner office, you'll need to make sure there's enough clearance. Also, the lock-in positions are limited to a few preset angles. You can't fine-tune to, say, 135 degrees. For most users that's fine, but power users who like to find the perfect angle might find it a bit restrictive. The armrests are synchronized, meaning they move in concert with the recline angle, preserving the same relative position to your elbows. In everyday use, I noticed that when I leaned back, the armrests stayed comfortably aligned, which prevented the awkward stretch that some chairs cause when the arms stay fixed while the back swings. They're also contoured to fit a natural arm curve, which reduces shoulder tension during